Welcome to our panel discussion for today. Today's discussion we will be focusing on multiple intelligence. As usual, joining me in today's panel of discussion is Ms. Shara Jainarine, Ms. Monique Monroe, Ms. Jaiwati Ramu, and Ms. Meena Kumari Gobin. As we know, these teachers have more than 2 years of knowledge and experience in the teaching profession and are right now training at the Sirpata College of Education like myself. So, getting started with our discussion, I will like to invite each and every one of you teachers to share and give your views on multiple intelligence.
Thank you, Ms. Salome, for giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge on multiple intelligences. Well, multiple intelligences basically refers to a theory describing the different ways students learn and acquire information. It is also known as the different smarts or intelligences. Multiple intelligences can be used in the classroom to assist teachers to discover their students' strengths, provide entry points into subject areas, and encourage students to express their learning in a variety of ways. The psychologist Howard Gardner challenged the view of intelligence and provided us with a vocabulary to describe what most of us understood implicitly, that there are indeed many ways to being smart. According to the psychologist, different people have those abilities differently developed. And this was proven to be true because I have students in my classroom that not only think but learn differently. Some learn by seeing, some learn by hearing, some through touch, movement, and motion, while some learn through writing, reading, or even by touching.
Multiple intelligence is basically the different ways people learn and acquire information. This multiple intelligence ranges from the use of words, numbers, pictures, and music to the importance of social interaction, introspection, physical movement, and being in tune with nature.
Now, my take on multiple intelligence is that it describes the way students learn and acquire information. These multiple intelligence ranges from the use of words, numbers, pictures, not forgetting music, and it even goes on to the importance of social interaction, introspection, physical movement, and being in tune with nature.
Multiple intelligences refers to a theory describing the different ways students learn and acquire information. These multiple intelligence range from the use of words, numbers, pictures, and music to the importance of social interactions, physical movement, and being in tune with the nature.
Excellent. Thank you all for your contributions. Indeed, as Howard Gardner said, that each person has different ways of learning and have different intelligences that they use in their daily life. So, moving on, teachers, we have been in the classroom. We know our students more than anyone else. So, I want you to now share with our viewers one experience with regards to multiple intelligences in your classroom.
So, being a year one teacher at first, it was challenging for me because I know there were children with different intelligences. So, as teaching along the way, that is how I observe and know each child and the different intelligences they have. So, in my classroom, there is this particular child. Whenever activity is given, let's say they have to draw a fruit, he would collect all of his material and would sit there not wanting to do the work. Or if he does, all he do is scratching on the paper. But if I am to take a dough and give it to him and ask him to make a fruit for me, he would happily make that fruit, and he will also say the name of the fruit and the color of the fruit. So from there, it has proven that each child learned in his or her own way.
One experience that I can share with multiple intelligences in my classroom is where I would have observed that a number of my students are good with music, while some are good with maths, and there are the others who are excellent in all of the subject areas.
Okay, so one experience that I can share from my classroom with regards to multiple intelligences is my picture study session. During my picture study session, some students communicate their opinions about the scene, while others would refuse to say anything about it. However, if I give them their workbooks to draw from the picture scene, they will draw exactly what they see. So I have students with different intelligences in my classroom, and I think they all are unique in their own way.
My experience, I have a child in my class. During language experience time and science, he doesn't pay no attention to me. But when it comes to mathematics, he has a logical mathematical intelligence. He knows his numbers and
Thank you once again for your contribution, teachers. And yes, as teachers, we observe and we know that all our learners have different ways of learning and they each have different intelligence when it comes to their learning. So, before we close up our discussion for today, one last question to you, teachers. Do you think that we as teachers should take into consideration our learners with different intelligences? And if so, why should we?
Yes, I do think we should all take into consideration our learners that possesses different intelligences. Teachers need to provide their students with multiple ways to learn new materials so that they can find a connection that works for them, as well as developing categories to organize the students' thinking that would help them to reason through new concepts. The teacher should at all times cater for each and every learner regardless of which intelligences they may possess, because catering for each and every learner will help each student to succeed academically. But to do this, it is necessary to determine how many or which one of the 8 intelligences mentioned by the psychologist the children possess. By learning which area of intelligence your students are strong in, you will then be able to help them succeed in the areas where they are struggling by planning and utilizing the intelligences that they are strong in.
yes, I do think we should take into consideration because each of us have has a range of skills, strengths and weaknesses. Teaching our students about the multiple intelligence theory shows each of us has something important to offer in situations and that our differences can strengthen us as a whole. Using the different intelligence to teach a concept allows each of your diverse learners has a chance to succeed at learning. The learner with strength in the visual, spatial intelligence will do well with drawing and puzzles.
Yes, I think we as teachers need to take multiple intelligences into consideration because Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences gives us a different framework for teaching and thinking in the classroom, as well as how we think about what people do in their lives. We rely on a lot of different abilities to be successful in life. And so different people have those abilities developed differently.
Yes, I strongly believe that we as teachers should take into considerations our learner with different intelligences. It is important to use multiple intelligence in classroom. But first, you must understand the multiple intelligence theory and know which intelligence your students have to be able to teach them in the best possible ways. Each child should be catered for differently. Activities given must match their intelligences. For example, if a child cannot draw but he can use dough to model, then activities given to that child should be more of modeling until he or she develop the intelligence of drawing.
I totally agree with that as well. Well said. So thank you so much for your contribution, teachers. I thank you for joining me today on our panel discussion. It has indeed been a very informative discussion, and I thank you, the viewers, for taking your time to join us today. We put a wrap on these sessions. Do remember to join us next time for our next edition. Thank you.